So we just had a student get an offer letter, multiple students that I've helped. And it's kind of crazy because people will say, oh, the tech market's hard, it's tough. But it's hard if you're doing things the wrong way. So, I mean, I'm going to just show you proof because I'm big on proof and just showing you proof in the pudding. I just had a couple of students just hit me up on LinkedIn. Bam, we had a student here, got an offer, as you can see, hopefully here. Bam, hey, Wally's got an offer. And then another student here, bam. He said, hey, bro, I just messaged you on IG. I just want to let you know that I got a junior network engineer position at Prodapt, all that kind of good stuff. And then he says, I appreciate you here. Can't thank you enough for coming across you on TikTok. It changed my life. So I get these messages quite often from people just saying thank you so much for helping. Because at the end of the day, guys, the easiest way to get into tech is mentorship. The problem with a lot of people, though, is they're not willing to seek out mentorship because either their ego or they feel like they can do it on their own. I didn't do it on my own. If I did it on my own, I would have told you guys to do it on your own. But I had my uncle help me become a network engineer. He's the one that mentored me. He's the one that showed me what he does on the job. He's the one that actually actively helped me with interviewing, helped me how to prep, how to dress, how to talk well. And guess what? I ended up getting an offer. It's that simple, guys. The biggest mistake that people make is they're not willing to put in the work or seek mentorship. And when that happens, you're going to fall behind. You're going to fall behind, you're going to fall behind, you're going to fall behind, right? When I first started networking, I did not even know what this is, what a fiber cable was. I did not know what this is, but I had to learn it. I had to learn it. And when I learned it, I learned how to configure, how to troubleshoot, how to do this stuff. You ended up getting an offer. And then once you get that offer, your life completely changes because now your confidence is going to be so high. For example, we had another student that also got an offer letter here. I'll just show you another example. We got an offer letter today, right? And the student is in our program. He ended up getting an offer letter. Let me go and pull up the offer that he ended up getting. But a lot of people just forget that getting offer letters, it's all about seeking out mentorship and putting in the work. It's that simple. It's literally that simple. He said he crushed the interview. He said the other job goes to me, but then you can see here, he says, where's it at? He ended up saying he got the offer somewhere here. Let me go ahead and do this. Offer. Hey, they sent me the offer letter. As you can see, I'm going to put you down as reference, right? So it's just funny how people are not putting in the work. But here's the thing, guys. It's all about mentorship. That's the easiest way. You want to follow the rule or the way that you want to follow the tactic that someone used to get to their goal, right? My uncle's a network engineer. When I asked him, he's been working as a network engineer for 3 years. So I just followed the same strategy that he followed. All you have to do is follow the strategy that someone else has already done. Right, and ideally recently as well, not someone who became a network engineer 30 years ago. You want to look for someone who's recently became a network engineer within the past 5 years. And if you can do that, you're going to be in a much favorable position than most people. But the general public is not willing to put in the work, right? And there's a lot of people say, oh, it's the competition, is this. It's because you're not around successful people who are already in the role that you want to get into. When all you talk to is people who are who are struggling, right? If you're talking to other college students who are all struggling, guess what? Your mindset is going to be like you're cooked. But you have to be in the right rooms with the right people who can instill in your mindset and give you the mindset that, hey, I can get a job, right? Because everything is in the mind, right? I get comments all the time. Oh, the job market's cooked. I can't get a job. It sucks. It's impossible to get a job. I promise you that mindset, you won't get a job. You won't. If you have that mindset, oh, the job market's good job. I talk to people all the time in the comments, they complain. Right? They complain because they just want to complain, right? Instead of hanging around with people who are already successful, having a positive attitude. Yes, the job market there is competition. Of course, you're competing with other people, right? You expect to just click a button on your computer and you end up getting an offer letter. It's not that easy. If you want to make 6 figures in tech, it's going to take work, right? Especially if you have no IT experience, you got to put in the work, right? Of course. But people want things to be easy. They complain, and I get it because, they don't want to put in the work. But that is your competition, guys. For those who are actually serious and actually want to put in the work, that is your competition. And let that be motivation for you and fuel you to be able to land that role. Okay, because getting into tech is not as hard as you think, right? The biggest thing is mentorship and skills, right? Learning how to interview. But all that kind of stuff comes from having the guidance from someone who to tell you what to learn. Because the biggest mistake that people make as well is they are learning the wrong things. They're learning a bunch of nonsense. They're watching all these videos. They're going after course after course after course after course, and they're not actually learning. They're just memorizing configurations and commands and terminology. And then guess what? They forget half of it. And when they go in the interview and say, hey, tell me about a time you've used this, they're like, I've never used it before, but I know what it is. Dude. Like, you're cooked, right? You want to, in the interview, you want to come across like you have experience by doing projects that are very similar to what you're going to see in the real world. You have to use a ticket, understand how to use a ticketing system, even know what a ticket. Most people don't even know what a ticketing system is, right? Because they never worked in IT. right? And then they have that issue when during the interview they don't even know what a ticket is. And then in the interview they're like, oh, you don't know what a ticket is? Like, why should we hire someone who doesn't even know what that is, right? Same thing with troubleshooting. If you never troubleshooted before, they're gonna ask you to tell me about a time you had to troubleshoot something in an interview, and guess what? You may mess up because you didn't practice that. And that is a big mistake that people make, is their willingness to not learn these skill sets, or willingness to not seek mentorship, which I get, right? Everyone wants to figure it out on their own, right? Everyone thinks they can figure it out on their own. But not to say that it's impossible, but I'm just saying if you want to move quicker, and the faster you move, the faster results come, right? And I'd rather, have someone instill in me the confidence to learn a skill set and actually learn from them and actually end up getting an offer, versus just complaining that the job market sucks and saying it's impossible to land a job, right? As you can see, there's tons of offer letters from our students that we've helped, but it's more about putting in the work, right? And if you're actually serious about putting the work, there's a link in my description where I help people go from zero, either no experience or even some experience, to landing your first job in networking as a network administrator, junior network engineer, network technician, junior network engineer, right? And this is what we help people with. And if you're interested in that, obviously there's a link in my description. But at the end of the day, getting into tech, right, it's all about putting in the work, right? You got to show up every day. I showed up every day. Right? A lot of the students here who were successful, they all showed up every day. You got to ask questions. You got to put in the work. Like recently, we just had another student as well. Let's go ahead and put it up here. Like Ali, right? He just got an offer 2 days ago, right? He's another student in our community. He got an offer 2 days ago, as you can see, as a data center technician with Amazon, right? Here's the offer letter, as you can see. Here's proof of it. Here's a community of everyone helping each other. Like, we are big on helping each other, because at the end of the day, you got to be around killers, guys. You got to be around successful people who actually are striving and being part of a community that's actually growing, and people who actually want to be ahead. Right? Because if you're around people who aren't really striving and growing, I promise you're going to fall behind. You're just going to fall behind, and you're not going to feel like you're actually making any progress. So the only way to make progress is to be around successful people and learn from them. Be around successful people and learn from them. It's that simple. The problem with a lot of people is they're not willing to put in the work, right? And it is unfortunate, right? Because there's a lot of potential with people who actually want, who are serious. But the problem is with some people is their ego gets in their head, right? They're gonna say, "Oh, I'm one certification away. Like, your advice is irrelevant. You need to get 5 certifications. I'm gonna get 5 certifications." And then the same people come back to me and they say, "Oh man, you're right. These certifications are useless. I actually need to focus on actual real world skills," because in the interview they don't even bring up certifications. Right? A lot of these students that I've helped, they don't even bring up certifications, guys. They don't bring up any certifications. They only care about really your skill set, right? What skills do you actually have, and then using those skills. It's that simple. So that is my recommendation. Stop overthinking things. A lot of times people love to overthink stuff, right? Don't overthink it. Focus on the skills that actually actively matter and that will actively help you. And once you get those skills, like I said, the best way of getting those skills is through mentorship, someone who actually has and done it before, and learning from them because they have more information than you, and just following the guidance that they have. It's that simple, right? Don't overthink it. Don't complain. Complaining doesn't do anything. A lot of people I talk to love to complain, right? And I promise you, if you're complaining, just leave this video, go somewhere else, because you're probably not going to get an offer, right? It's all about the mind, right? And that will seep into your interviews, in the way you speak, in the way you carry yourself, in the way you explain things. And be like, this person has a negative mindset. No one wants to be around negative people, right? You have to have this positive attitude that's going to help you, right? And that's what we have in the community. And if you're interested in that, there's a link in the description to help people go from zero to landing their first role in tech as a network engineer, right? Because networking is a phenomenal field to get into right now in 2026, guys. The average the competition right now is not looking good, right? I just had a conversation with one of my students. He said in the interview, people in the interview couldn't even explain what OSPF is or what it is. They just put stuff on the resume. They don't even know what it is, right? And that happens to a lot of people, and that is unfortunate because they haven't done projects that are related to that, and when they interview, they fumble the bag, right? I don't want you guys to be in that predicament, so focus on the skills, focus on the interview, and get mentorship. It's that simple. And if you can do all of that and tie all that together, you're going to be in a phenomenal position in 2026 to land your first role, and you can absolutely change your life, right? Networking changed my entire life, right? I got into networking back in 2021, right? I started an ISP in November 21st, 2021, and ever since then, guys, my life completely changed, and I'm happy for it, and I'm excited for it, and now I love helping folks who are interested in this field of networking, because, the saturation with cybersecurity, everyone's obsessed with that. This is a kind of a unique field that has existed for quite some time. Like, the internet has existed, but it's growing now with data centers. It's getting insane, guys. So if you guys are looking for an opportunity right now in 2026 to actually find your career, find your footing, go ahead, click the link in my description. That will pretty much show you exactly the step-by-step guide. But if you guys like the video, like I said, give it a thumbs up. Hopefully you guys are enjoying the second channel. If you guys don't know, I have a main channel called Tech with Wally. This is going to be Tech with Wally highlights that I have. So just to kind of give real raw talks on stuff. So if you guys like the video, give it a thumbs up. If you want to subscribe, click the subscribe button. But again, guys, thank you so much for you guys' viewership. It means the world to me. And I hope you all have a good rest of your day. And peace.